In 1745, in a village called Essaka, believed to be in present-day Nigeria, a boy named Olaudah Equiano was born into the Igbo tribe. His father was a respected elder, and their family lived in relative peace. Olaudah grew up like any child in the community, learning local customs, participating in dances, helping in the fields, and hearing tales of his ancestors around the fire. But one fateful day, while his parents were away and he played with his sister, raiders attacked the village. They kidnapped both children. This was not uncommon. African kingdoms at the time were embroiled in regional wars, and some participated in the slave trade, capturing rivals or selling debtors to European traders in exchange for goods like guns, cloth, and alcohol. Olaudah and his sister were separated, and he was sold multiple times within West Africa. For months, he was passed from one African household to another. Some of his temporary masters treated him kindly, others cruelly. But the worst was yet to come. Eventually, he was sold to European slave traders at the coast. The boy who once listened to stories under the moon now stood trembling before a vast ship, a floating prison called a slave ship. The ship, filled with chained Africans, reeked of human waste, fear, and death. The enslaved were crammed below deck, unable to move. Disease ran rampant. Olaudah, barely 11 years old, witnessed people dying beside him, some thrown overboard to the sharks that followed the ships. In his autobiography, Equiano later wrote, "The shrieks of the women and the groans of the dying rendered the whole a scene of horror almost inconceivable." This harrowing journey across the Atlantic, the Middle Passage, took months. It claimed millions of African lives over centuries. Olaudah arrived in Barbados, then Virginia, and was later sold to a British naval officer. His new name was Gustavus Vassa. Under this master, Olaudah learned to read and write, a rare privilege for an enslaved person. He sailed the world with the British Navy, from the Mediterranean to the Arctic. Eventually, he was sold again, this time to a merchant in England. After years of labor and saving money, Olaudah bought his freedom in 1766. He was one of the very few Africans in the 18th century to do so. Now a free man, Olaudah turned his pain into purpose. He became a leading figure in the British abolitionist movement, speaking at gatherings and writing about his experiences. In 1789, he published his autobiography, The Interesting Narrative of the Life of Olaudah Equiano. It became a bestseller and one of the most influential works in the fight against slavery. He wrote, "I hope the slave trade may be abolished. I trust that the nation will never again encourage such wickedness." His words stirred the hearts of the British public, many of whom were unaware of the brutality of the trade. Olaudah Equiano died in 1797, a decade before the British abolished the slave trade, but his story lived on. Through him, we hear the cries of millions of Africans torn from their homes. We see the resilience of a boy who rose from chains to become a voice for justice. His life is a testimony not just to survival, but to the unbreakable strength of the human spirit. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more interesting African story videos like this. See you in the next one.